Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Wrestlemania. I've been given the privilege to narrate the final episode of FCW Forever. Now, with that being said, let's get a recap of the things that transpired ever since FCW's legendary departure in 2021, leaving the call world stunned. Mr. Sonic Man found himself in a beef with the biggest superstar, the show-off, in OT3, which led to diss tracks, shirts being made in real life, memes, and Sonic Man taking his OT3 World Championship. Some may say Huncho hasn't been the same since the beef. Following, though, Mr. Sonic Man had plans to bring back FCW in 2022. However, due to the new controls, and especially the new button mash pin system, Sonic Man decided to not only leave the cost space, but to take his talents elsewhere. In spring of 2022, he decided to leave his wrestling boots at home, pick up a gun, and start a new career of playing Fortnite.
Spin again. Pull up in a fishbowl, ooh, clear. Spin again. Spinning shit just like I am a ceiling fan.
To be honest, I genuinely thought that I was just done. Yeah, Fortnite took over my whole fucking life, honestly. As soon as Zero Build became a thing in the game, I was just permanently hooked onto it. And I made so many friends on there, so many great memories. I was dropping hella bodies. I was over here thinking like, damn, I guess this is my new career path.
I get your bitch fuck. Bitch, I'm a dog, mutt. Bitch, I'm a bitch. I need a bitch.
Mr. Sonic Man had seamlessly a new life ahead of him. However, in early 2023, a simple bet between him and Shawn Rush would lead to a huge domino effect of not only bringing Sonic Man back into Claw, but to bring back FCW.
Miniature roster, Mission 9, watch it drop. Making the roster, just before you hit the floor. One miniature roster, Mission 9, Mr. Shine. Making the roster, you think you won, and then it's all gone. 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 Now it's all gone.
A lot of people don't know this. Shawn Rush is the reason why FCW came back to the light. I hope y'all know that. Shawn Rush is the reason. Yes, I am the reason why FCW came back. And Kay, can I talk to you for a second? Can I talk to you?
What's up, little bro?
So like, can you please tell everybody how I am the reason how I brought back FCW back in 22?
We had a.
Should you tell them or should I?
No. I can say, we had a lovely bet over a boxing fight with Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, and he decided to add in last second before that fight. Like, if Tommy Fury wins,
here we go.
If Tommy Fury wins, then I have to bring back FCW and come back to call. And when I seen this nigga Jake Paul, just getting his ass beat for 8 rounds straight, and he got that one knockdown, I was like, oh, thank God, bro. I was sitting here looking up at God, and so I was like, oh my God, like I'm in the clear, because I'm in a whole different career trajectory at this moment. Like, I'm over here just vibing, playing Fortnite, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck about no fucking car, none of that shit. When the judges came in, the first judge gave it to Jake. I was like, all right, cool. Second judge said Tommy Fury. I threw my fucking headsets. I wanted to crash out. And then when that last judge gave it to Tommy, I damn near had a heart attack, bro. And then this nigga called me right after that fight, just made it like 10 times worse, bro. Like, I was in tears. I was like, ain't no fucking way I gotta bring this league back, bro. Like, ain't no fucking way.
Yeah. So everybody get on your hands and knees and pray to your God. Say thank you, Sean Rush. Thank you, Sean Rush. Thank you, Sean Rush.
As we got into the release of WWE 2K23, Mr. Sonic Man slowly made his decision to start teasing the highly anticipated return of FCW.
Oh, it felt great. It was really awesome, to see it come back and see it, see what was gonna be happening with it and everything. I was really interested and intrigued, to be honest with you.
It felt like a breath of fresh air. It was a bad time for everyone that year, though. I can say that because the place in which we showcase our talents, it didn't feel the same. It didn't feel like how it used to be back in, like, old times, like the pandemic and 2019 and stuff. It just felt like a whole new wave, a whole new game to play. An old feeling came back once FCW came back around, and I was already on the decline of my career, but I said, how about I give it one more run?
It surprised me. I didn't think it would come back, but came back. That that got announced or whatever the case. I seen that as an opportunity. That's when I got to really, showcase all my tricks in the bag.
I think going into it, at the time I had so much stuff that I was working on at the time, outside of call. After that bet, I was just sitting there thinking like, okay, I'm not just gonna stop doing everything I'm doing right now just to bring the league back. Like, I'm gonna figure out like a time frame this year to figure all this out. Yeah, that's what I slowly started doing. That's when I slowly started to like tease the return with, getting back on IG on my call account and posting, the number 3, teasing Mountaintop 3. And then I got back on my FCW page and I made a whole new FCW logo. That was when things started to shift and everyone was seemingly excited for the return of FCW.
As more hype began to circulate with the imminent return of FCW, things shifted drastically as Sonic Man geared up to produce his first FCW show in over 2 years, FCW Sunday Night Slaughter. There were still questions of how will FCW perform, about their biggest star. What new ideas can Sonic Man bring to the table in this new era of KA? And most importantly, can FCW finally reach the heights of BGE or even AEW?
McLaren Speedtail, 6 carats in my ear for detail. I be getting all my watches retail. Caught a murder, he tryna call Meek Mill. Sold him lean, but duty got his refill. I know real killers act like females. All the trenches, bitches give me tea still. How you kill him, bro? I need the details.
So when it came to making Slaughter, honestly, my goal was just to get like one big pay-per-view out to, get our name back popping, and then go straight in the Mountaintop and just call it a day. That was honestly like the goal that I had, like going into this comeback. It wasn't really meant to be long term, honestly. It was just strictly because I lost a bet. I genuinely didn't want anything to do with wrestling. I actually had played I never played 2K22 because of how fucking awful it was. I still have not played 2K22 to this day, even as of like the day of this premiering.
I feel like I came in at really, a bad time and everything. Everything was kind of dying down or whatever. But when FCW came around, I feel like everybody was like, everybody had high hopes to it. I didn't really know what it was. No one really told me, but everybody was telling me it was like, everybody had high hopes. It was a league that everybody missed and wanted to come back.
I ain't gonna lie. I was happy. I was like, as beast and as a business, I was happy. Because one, I ain't had to carry this community no more. And two, I know FCW was a good league. That's the only other league I ever liked. Like, I would enjoy to be in. So I was mad. I was mad happy. I can't even lie. It was shocking too. Because it was a lot of new people also. So I was like, I don't see how these new people gonna do in FCW and see how it goes, because when FCW was around, it was no woman, for real, no woman. We wasn't really doing women. Now when it came back, like women was taking over. So I want to see how FCW was gonna handle all that, do all that.
When I did get the chance of playing 2K23, it felt like I was in a whole different game, like with the whole guessing crap, the whole guessing the punch combos, grapple reversal combos. It was all this crazy stuff, and these are like supposedly simpler controls. Well, in my brain, I'm thinking, if these are supposed to be more simple controls to get into the game, why the fuck is there a tutorial? Why the fuck is there a tutorial? Before pre-2K22, have you ever played a wrestling game where you needed to have a tutorial on how to play the game before you can get into like actually playing the game? Please tell me that makes sense. And one more thing that I'll say on this topic is that, I want to shout out to everyone who did end up becoming a top star once 2K22 release. And like, it's cool. I'm not going to really discredit their accomplishments, them winning all these titles and then becoming megastars ever since this era. But like, let's just call it like it is. Comp for wrestling games died when the 2K19 servers went down. But yeah, I was awful at it. I didn't know how I was going to get myself back into it, and I had to have a really long conversation with myself on me having to sacrifice, the amount of input and effort I put into, playing Fortnite, back when they going into this cheesy little shit show called WWE 2K23. But regardless, I did eventually start getting things back up. I couldn't really be asked with doing a draft at the time because in my brain I already knew it wasn't going to be long term, so it was just like, what's the point? So I kept everything just like one brand. I still kept Fight Night and Slaughter, and honestly my goal was just to get the first show out the way, which was Slaughter. And everyone was obviously thinking, what's FCW gonna look like without Huncho?
FCW coming back, we gonna fuck some shit up. Because now, we're even better, more consistent, and coming for you, nigga!
You have eras. They may not be just as good as each other, but they're always going to be good. So I enjoy both eras of FCW. I wouldn't want to sit here and be like, try to compare the two. But I would say that I'm not going to lie, I do enjoy the Huncho era. I do enjoy the Huncho era.
Whenever I get asked that question, I just laugh so hard, bro, because let's just face it. When you think of Huncho, you think of the work he did in FCW.
He's always been horrible. He'll stay horrible. It's just bad. There's no elevation in who he is whatsoever. The only thing that changes is his name, because he has an identity crisis. You see how he changed his name to Zion Prince, right? And my name is what? Crazy. Yeah. It's so crazy. A king to a prince is his father. So I'm just saying, bro. Sonic Man did strike the pot harder whenever he handled his business and got, the show off. Godspeed. Zoom. Like he got that nigga done with, bro. So that's what it had to be, man. But there was already a shift in the atmosphere. He was already on the decline. He's still on the decline. I do want to say that Sonic Man is one of the main people that you have to thank. But that other person, you're looking at him.
Anything he did outside of it, like, no one cares about it. Like let's just call it like it is, Anything that has to do with me is the good and positives that Huncho has brought in with this community. I mean, yeah, like the music stuff he put in, like that shit was golden. Like that pandemic era when he had everyone just sucking him off, we know about that talking, like that shit, that shit was crazy. Like that shit was hard. The diss track on me, that was probably like the last song where it felt like he had like some sort of passion, left for Call. But ever since I like broke him down, I guess, after that whole like back and forth we had like a long time ago, I don't think he was the same person. So yeah, anyways, I was very excited to get into this episode. I was immediately went into crowning like a new Allstars champion because I didn't know what the fuck Chad was doing. Chad was doing anything on planet Earth but getting his ass into a ring. Yeah, I tried saving with the whole like, he might be here, he might not be here, we never know. But I was very excited to have that beautiful show come out. I kicked things off with a teaser trailer, return trailer for FCW. That was what really got things officially rolling. And then once I had that teaser set for Slaughter, it was just like everything was set in stone. When I got finished with the show, I wasn't even like, I think I was on vacation. Like as I was finishing up the first Slaughter show, like everything was just so stacked and prepped and ready to go. And I was just so excited to see what people would think of it. Like I had like a nuke set from the start. Alright, so here's the setup. We live here in Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, not much room-wise, but it's pretty decent, Got a nice view of the pool. And yeah, I'm here 2 days out from Sunday Night Slaughter. This is gonna be dropping this Sunday. It's gonna be mad fire. Like I've just been traveling a lot all day. I'm probably not gonna make it back until like the Sunday that it does drop, but it's gonna be a really, really sick ass show. You know, I kicked off the show addressing Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful city, you know, if you exclude Zion Prince. He thought he had everything, but in reality, he never did, and he never was that guy. But I will say this, I do wish him the best in his future endeavors. Even if it's making garbage songs with that ugly bitch, Zinda Rivera.
Mr. Sonic Man, what are your thoughts on call dating?
You know, to be honest, I could personally give two shits about what anyone does as far as like call dating or any sort of role playing. I think at the time it threw me off a lot, you know, especially when I first started hearing about it, but it really doesn't have anything to do with me. However, I do think it's crazy and ironic that some of the people that were talking down on people that did call date, and more specifically, people that were, you know, referring to the girls as dudes, unironically ended up getting into call dating themselves years later. And the people that they were ending up dating in that call space were people that were just talking a lot of shit about them. And they were throwing all these crazy ass accusations about them too, and just seeing that some of them are just all of a sudden just dating like nothing ever happened. I just think it's the funniest shit in the world. It was a nice little experience being able to taunt that crowd and express how much I just simply didn't need them. And it was just a troll. And that was really just like a one and done thing. I didn't really want any more trolling. But Shy just wanted to milk it. Shy wanted to milk the piss out of it. And I'm just like, bro, let this man go, please. Like, let this nigga go. Like, god damn.
So I heard about it off of it being like a bet or something like that. But I was kind of like, okay, cool, like SCW's back, that's dope, or whatever. Like they'll have like a company that actually is gonna put out good content or whatever to the audience. Because like I said, I wasn't really around. Like I think I was there when they came back, but I wasn't really that active. So it's like they have a league that's actually gonna put out quality content. They're gonna actually have like a league owner that's gonna be like there for them for sure. Like, cause I was a part-timer, like a motherfucker. Like I was not there. Like my heart wasn't completely in it. I was in a whole different world. So I was like, great for them. Like they had FCW back. So they have two like great leagues or whatever that's gonna be there to put out content. One's probably gonna be more consistent than the other. Like I said, I wasn't really there for real. So like, but yeah. I was happy that like FCW came back, cause like something for the community, because the community had been dry as fuck.
We kicked off the show. It was Beast versus Devin Quinn in a steel cage match, and as they were recording that match, I remember Beast specifically telling me, "Yeah, bro, I'm gonna be the next Huncho, bro." And I'm just like,
Beast is still gonna try, but it's not gonna do much. Beast is gonna leap probably up. No, he's not gonna leap. He knew it was over. It wasn't too hard to tell. Devin Quinn is your victor, ladies and gentlemen, as I said and as I predicted.
It was a lot of phenomenal matches, and I really wanted to just showcase a lot of just new faces and new stars and just get everyone over and put them in like a new light that they might have never been seen before. It was like a set of 4 singles matches, which got turned into a tag team elimination match towards the end. It was Orbit, CD, and KJ, and Beast. It was supposed to be someone else, but that person just wasn't available to do the match, so I just had Beast in the storyline, you know, take him out.
I was beating his ass.
Yeah, you should have kept doing that, bro. You had him in the first half, bro.
Rematch, bro. I don't want to hear shit. Just give me my rematch. Just give me my
You
rematch.
had him in the
Just give me
first
my
half, bro. Nah, bro. You ain't getting shit. You ain't getting shit. You out the tournament, bro. That's it. That's all.
I bet.
You a certified choke artist, bro. Bet.
Bet.
Oh my god! He just threw Victor. Are those gunshots? What is going on?
That man is dead.
I told him to pack his bags and go home. Why is he still here? Who cleared this shit? Did Butterslug clear this shit? That fat bald bitch. So that was interesting, and because of that, you know, that was an interesting back and forth tag match, but KJ and Beast ended up getting the W. And he just got hit. Just got hit with the final chapter. But why is Beast celebrating? KJ deadlift carried that bitch. Oh, I guess we're just buddies now. Yeah. Whoa, what the fuck? Oh!
Back on the Devin.
Never take it back on the superior.
Bow to your superior legend.
It was a 2v1. So what was there that I can do? But I bet everything that I had in that match. Let's just say it took them a lot to even be down. They didn't finish the job, if I'm being honest, but they won, and that was that. So the experience itself was really thrilling.
It was really almost the same. That's why I like it. Ain't really changed. It got like better, like little stuff was a little better, you know. But it was really the same for real. That's what I liked about it. It ain't changed. Everything was already good. Like everything they did was unique and different. Like knowing like their green screen they was doing, their match cards, like all the stuff they was doing, like they draft shit, like all of that. It was unique and different.
FCW and their editing team is widely known for being one of the best editing teams. That's why OT3 used them too. We already knew that FCW came in to change the game, and they just kept on moving forward. I just saw what I've always seen, and that is progression, and I love progression. I was proud.
Yeah, honestly, I was so stoked seeing like the views that Slaughter got. It was literally like the biggest viewed Slaughter show of all time, and I just think, you know, I just look back at that post that Huncho put calling FCW the MDs, and I just thought that was the most like hilarious thing I've ever read in my life. But yeah, you know, FCW was booming. We were really back in business. And I was just like, all right, on to the next.
With the premiere of Sunday Night Slaughter, the FCW rose to new heights that it had never seen before. It led to becoming the biggest Slaughter show of all time. Following that success, Sonic Man wanted to keep the momentum of FCW going with its next show, which would be Friday Fight Night.
Fight Night, I wanted to continue that over with the World Championship, as obviously the previous champion was Huncho, and he wasn't in my league anymore, so on to making some new champions, you know? We came to Fight Night, I had 2 separate triple threats. One was between Ragnar, Vipex, and another superstar that I have too much CTE to think of, and then it was CD, Orbit, and Iman in a triple threat match, in which they both had won. Ragnar crushed Vipex's skull open.
In the corner.
Forearm.
Oh God. No.
Oh,
no.
Man.
Oh! Stop! 1.
Oh no.
Two,
1, 2,
3.
and 3.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Ragnar.
goodness. CD in an FCW live event, he won his match. And pretty much at that point, it was set for those two to fight for the FCW World title at Free For All. Yeah, I think Fight Night was just like to keep the ball moving, but I really wanted to see how some rivalries would go. One of the big vocal points that I personally found vested in pushing was BK versus Keelo. These two have been like beefing in my company for years on end, and I wanted to see how they would do in a simple 30-minute Ironman match. Those two went back and forth and ended up tying. I believe the score was like 7-7. Like it was like 7-7, 6. All right, never mind. Regardless, they were tied, and then as we got into sudden death, Keelo ended up getting the W.
Shocked the world. Keelo has defeated Shane King in one-on-one competition once again.
Well, whenever it comes down, sometimes you gotta give people stuff so they can stop. So y'all should already know, if I've called a match, multiple matches against him, why would I just randomly lose? Because of the simple fact that I needed him to have a here nigga damn, because every single time I heard through the grapevine that this guy was saying, I'm not gonna stop going after Shane King until I get a win. So I said, you know what? Hey, look, Sonic Man, I'm gonna just go up and lay down a couple of times, but it ain't gonna look decisive, but he's gonna win. And he said, fine, do what you gotta do. And I did what the hell I gotta do. And Keelo, here nigga, damn. There's your win. Fuck nigga.
And man, oh man, did he smoke that brothers pack. They had like a rematch inside of a chamber where they 1v1'd, and Keelo beat him in there too. And he was smoking on that BK pack.
I heard you was gonna make it fast. What happened? Up the skull. Up the skull, yeah. Fuck the competition. They all opposition. That's what I did, I made. Up the skull. Up the skull. Yeah. Alright, that's all I had to say about that. My eyes be pressed. When they lose, we call their phone like yes.
He really rolled this nigga pack, oh god. Shawn Rush, God bless his soul, man. Shawn ended up getting himself in a triple threat, and in which he did ultimately ended up picking up the victory. And yeah, it was like a nice way to keep teasing that whole story of KJ, Shawn, Beast, as we headed into FFA as they fought for the All-Stars Championship.
In just a few weeks, new stars of FCW were officially established, and Sonic Man was ready to produce a familiar pay-per-view from FCW's past, Free For All 2. Mr. Sonic Man was Intercontinental Champion for over 1,000 days, making it one of the longest title reigns in CAW history. His feud with Devin, Quinn, and Miles told a story of what alliances Miles would choose between Sonic Man and Devin Quinn.
I believe, as things kept pushing forward, I eventually teased that I would be returning into the ring, and I'll be competing in my first official match in 15 months.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fight Night. As I'm sure some of you already know, I'm back in this bitch. July in Los Angeles, Free For All 2. I'm defending my Intercontinental Championship against King Miles and Revolution's own Devin Quinn. And once I snipe both their heads off with my super kick and pin them both 1, 2, 3, I'm going down as the greatest champion in all of CAW. Because following that match, I will celebrate holding my Intercontinental Championship for 1,000 days.
I was like being this heelish GM, so I was just saying how, I've been Intercontinental Champion for the last 3 years. Which is true, like I do hold the longest reigning championship of all time. No one's ever done that. You know, holding a title past like 4 games, like no one's gonna fucking say that, bro. No one can say that they've done that ever. And I didn't really give like an opportunity per se. I kind of just handpicked my 2 opponents, which was just Miles and Orbit. And the reason why I picked these 2 in particular is because, you know, Miles has an interesting history between the both of us. Orbit has had a history of manipulating Miles, and I've had a history of quote-unquote manipulating Miles. But Miles is just, he's what I like to call a subconscious dick rider. You know, he just does it out of instinct.
I feel like it was all like a facade. It was all like fake and everything. Like, I'm the type of guy that doesn't like dealing with BS and stuff like that. So it was all just BS to me, in my opinion.
You don't deserve to have a moment. I saw opportunity for myself and I just took it. You weren't original. You were not an original Revolution member. You did not deserve to win that match.
So you decided to turn your back on one of your boys. You know, we won the tag team championships together. Remember that?
First off, let me stop you right there. There was no we. It was just I.
Didn't you call your other, didn't you, talk shit about your other 2 tag team partners?
You're gonna be leaving out the arena titleless just the same way Shane King did. Left you out there titleless. But hey, all jokes aside, I'm trying to lighten up the mood a little bit. I don't want to have y'all being out here depressed or have depression.
We could have just handled this, like civilized people. Could have just duked down the ring and left it at that. But you know what? You got something else coming for you.
Regardless, I was very excited to get into that match between those 2. My only regret was that I kind of just wished that I didn't prolong it as this fat-ass 3 stages of hell travesty I did with that match. I feel like it just overly stimulated it as the premiere views went down, because that match was like an hour-long match. Like, I feel like any hour-long match would lose viewers. But regardless, we all 3 of us ended up getting like 3 points. Or we all had a point in the 3 stages of hell, and then we had the sudden death elimination match. Now, in this matchup, I don't know what the hell happened with Miles, but like he just forgot how to kick out. Like anytime he got hit with a finisher, he was getting pinned, unless he had resiliency. And I was trying to hint at, like, I wasn't trying to just make it obvious I was going to jump Orbit, but my strat was, Orbit was obviously like the bigger threat in that matchup. I wanted him gone first. And I was hitting at Miles so fucking badly to be like, yo, get this nigga out of the ring. He has, Miles, if you look at like the last match, this nigga has like 3 finishers stored in his inventory. And I'm like, brother, do something. Like, I'm not stalling. I'm not, I'm beating Orbit up outside the ring. And Miles is just sitting here like a jackass. And I'm just like, do something, dude. Like, why are you just sitting here doing nothing? Like, he was just so conflicted in his brain. I don't know why. Maybe it was the press conference we did where, I was just talking shit right before the match. Yeah. And then I lost my resiliency off like a fucking glitch, off a targeting glitch. That was beautiful. And then Orbit just had the better kickouts between us. That just led to him getting the dub over me. What can I say?
There he is. 1, 2, 3. Devin Quinn is the new IC champion. Here is your winner and new Devin Quinn showing out. He told you it's a crime scene every time you pass him, bro. Begun. Oh man. His title reign came to an end at Free For All 2.
I feel like I lost because I put too much pressure on myself. I always had to put too much pressure on myself. You get the panic, you get the nerves, the jitters, and stuff like that. Mind you, I did have 3 finishers in that match, so I basically had the advantage. I just fucked up and I choked. My thought process after the match was like, you know, bro, like you gotta stop, you know, putting too much pressure on yourself. That fucks you up, and I keep doing it every single time. I don't know why, but you get those jitters and you get that nervous feeling inside of you, like before a match that like you can't. It's hard to like control, basically.
I put all the half-ass effort that I cared to put into that matchup, and that was the best I can do. So, you know, shout out to Orbit for becoming the new Intercontinental Champion. But despite that match, Free For All in general, that show was like it felt like a nice comeback pay-per-view. As like the last one we did 3 years ago, the original FFA, that was also like a very memorable pay-per-view. I feel like it established like new stars and new champions, and I feel like this one did the exact same thing. CD, that was a show where CD and Ragnar competed for the FCW World Championship, and through a long, hard-fought battle, CD did eventually become the new FCW World Champion.
But Chris Daniels, just his speed is too much.
Oh no.
His speed is just way too much.
May that be it?
One, two,
three. Chris
three.
Daniels did it! Chris
He
Daniels
fucking did it! Chris Daniels,
member of Revolution,
has now became FCW World Champion. I think a fan is going to check on Ragnar right there. He's just making sure he's okay. That was a devastating.
Me being a world champion for the first time in my career, it was bittersweet. I didn't know what would come with it, but I did at the same time, which made, you know, the journey more challenging and a little more serious. So to beat Ragnar and to become the FCW World Champion, I already knew I wasn't letting go of it no time soon.
That was also in the time frame where FTO had became the new tag team champions.
I presume he was going to, for whatever reason, dodge that shit, but unfortunately that just wasn't the case. As he goes for a surprise roll-up, and okay, that was apparently enough for them to get the dub. Wow. Holy shit, they really came in with a robbery. That was a full-blown gangbang from Beef and Cole Carpenter. Holy shit.
I feel like Cole Carpenter could have been used way better in the start. I didn't really like playing tag team. I like playing tag team, but I also like getting a little bit of singles action. But I feel like I always had the opportunity to be better in FCW, and I did showcase that. What was it? Mountaintop. I won a match 5 minutes against a SoundCloud rapper.
And man, shout out to Beast. You know, Beast is my favorite YN. I mean, he's my favorite GM. You know, I think him and BGE, I think they've put out the best content, in my opinion, besides FCW. To see how much he's grown his own brand and just himself in general, alongside with his, you know, his group, I just thought it was just amazing. And then we went into the main event, which was KJ, Shawn Rush, and Beast, and they're replacing Diego Jomenez for the Allstars Championship. Why? Because Keelo never showed up. Yeah, that was a nice, cute little 30-minute four-way match. Beast and KJ were the only ones to get points. And in the end, Beast just choked, and KJ ended up becoming the new All-Stars champion.
Your fanatics pray on me, hate on me, patiently waiting to watch me bleed. Get your head from out of my ass, got me feeling like a human centipede. Just let me breathe, stay the fuck away from me. I don't really want me, I'm my own enemy. So tell all your friends, this is the end of everything. Too late to repair, the wicked will reap what they sow. We will fortify, rejoice in their sorrow and sing. Hail next gen, could not care an execute judgment on you. You wicked demon,
And 3, ladies and gentlemen, he did it. He said he was going to do it all the way back on Slaughter. And by God, he has done it. He is now our new FCW.
I loved it. Purely immaculate. it had to be the greatest pay-per-view I have seen since OT3, what you call that? Mania. The part, like every match except for like Huncho showing up to sing, perfect. I promise you. And once we took that out the show on OT3 Plus, on the OT3 network, you know, it was great. And then they put it back in and it was a horrible show. Because we started getting new view spikes as soon as the shit was gone.
See, look, you know, notice how I dodged that All-Star tournament you asked me the first time. Because I don't like how it ended. I really could have won that. But KJ and Shawn, you know, they had a team. You know, there was a team, so they helped each other win. Which really irritates me because I had it in the bag. Well, I feel like I'm one of the reasons why I got 1,000. I ain't trying to take the credit now, but I feel like I'm one of the reasons because BG was the first league to ever do that. Was it? Damn. Never mind. But BG was the first league to get 4K views. All right. And still the only league to do that. All right. Goddamn, fuck AEW. But I felt good. I feel like, you know, the star power it had and like what I was doing, like the promoter, like, yeah, I was a part of it. And I was happy FCW did that because FCW never hit 1K. And FCW definitely deserved them views. It deserved way more than 1K. I ain't gonna lie. But having it first K, it felt like I was a league owner. It felt great.
With the success of Free For All too, it seems that FCW was bigger than it had ever been before. However, as things kept getting bigger for FCW, similar issues led to Sonic Man feeling once again burned out from the CAW industry.
So after FCW Free For All, I'm not gonna lie, making that show was definitely a struggle. We were supposed to get that show out in like earlier-ish July of that year, but it ended up being like late July because, you know, I kind of just realized that, you know, working a full-time job and doing leagues is not fun. It's not like the pandemic where I have all the time in the world. I remember I was waking up at 5 in the morning doing commentary by myself on certain matches before I went to work. That's how much dedication I had. But in spite of that though, I was really happy of the views that FCW had with Free For All too. It got like over 1,000 views. It was something that I always knew FCW was capable of doing. I just never had any care or input to do it. I felt like I pushed FCW as far as like doing promotion. Like around this time frame, this is the most promotion I ever did, like ever for FCW. I wanted to get that show to 1,000 views just to be petty. And, you know, like there was a lot of superstars that helped, you know, put all that together for me. And I'm very grateful for that. The mindset that I had in 2023 was not the same mindset I had in 2020, where I just only cared about making like the best quality looking show. I think this time frame I was more focused on just views and kind of just adding on to the skill set that I already had in the pandemic. And then during that time frame, I was like, all right, you know, we can do this and get to Mountaintop. And I feel like the main issue that I had with FCW at the time was actually the exact same issues that I had with it when I left. People complaining about matches, people making excuses, people lying to me about their so-called glitches and things of that nature. But I feel like at the time I just cared about just like getting the show out. So I was just be like, oh, well, I'll just deal with that later. Me trying to get the show out made me overlook a lot of things. I feel like the biggest thing about that was just, you know, trying to get people to do matches was just like damn near impossible. I feel like it got worse around this era of CAW, mainly because people want to do anything and everything in a party except do a match. That's kind of just like the main issues with that, and that's a problem that's still a thing today. People don't really care to commit to just simply doing a match, recording it, and just moving on. Like it's not that hard. It's always like oh, I'm tired. Oh, I have this going on. I have that going on. Like it's just never like a simple thing to just get one person on, another person on. They do their match, win, lose, or draw. They just say GGs and move on. Unfortunately, it's not that simple in CAW. But yeah, my point is that like, you know, people don't take shit serious. And I feel like I put in way too much effort, time, and energy just to be like disrespected like that. No one in CAW, I feel like, puts even a fraction of effort that like a league owner puts into making their shows. When it comes to people complaining about shows not being put out on and like this certain date or why things are taking like X amount of time, I feel like if you're not like an editor or like really just a league owner in general, I don't think you have any right to say so. about like people taking their time with their shows, unless it's like a crazy substantial amount of time. Yeah, I got burned out with the league very fast. I tried thinking of like some impulsive main events to kind of just like close off Mountaintop, and my brain was just like, nah, I'm good. You know, I'm looking at the 1,000 views, and I was like, you know what, I did it. I completed my mission here. I got my 1,000 views, bro. And yeah, I was just like, peace out, bro. Like, I'm out of here. I had so much other shit going on at the time. You know, FCW was the last thing that I was thinking about.
It seemed like history repeated itself with FCW once again, discontinuing in the late summer of 2023. Months later, history once again repeated itself with Sonic Man returning against the Call in December 2023. Although this time, instead of making more enemies, Mr. Sonic Man ended up making amends. It seemed like for the first time in years, Sonic Man, Huncho, and Shy were all on the same page.
I was just simply chilling in a party with BK, Shy, and a few O-Team people. Some 40-ish minutes later, a wild Huncho decided to just spawn into the party. And here come this boy talking about, so why there niggas in this party, bro? Like, bro, who the fuck asked you? So basically, you know, he ended up being there. I mean, like, I wasn't gonna leave, but I also wasn't there to like start anything. But he wanted to have a chat with me as far as like, you know, like why I did what I did. And we talked it out. I think I did say that I did remove like the memes that I put on him, at least back in like 2022. And long story short, yes, we did make amends.
I was surprised. Like, I would never expect that to happen again. Like, after all the stuff and BS that was going on, all the arguing and bullshit and drama and stuff, like, literally, I was like, wait, you're making y'all two are becoming cool with each other again? Like, I'm like, oh boy, let's see how long this is gonna work out for.
That was a very lovely, short-lived 48 hours. So basically, Shaw hits me up about this idea to screw over Huncho, and personally, I didn't agree with it because, like, that's just wrong to just go off presumptions. Because his decision with this was just simple presumptions. But at the end of the day, you know, like, this wasn't my league. I can't control what the fuck he says. You know, for content purposes, I agreed to do it. Because why the fuck not? It was a match with Huncho versus Jay at OT3 Bad Karma 2023. It was their first show that they had did, or at least pay-per-view wise, that they had done in like a minute. I think their last one was like a month-ish ago, where Shy had a Huncho screw over Tony. He had like poor Tony fighting like a 4v1 with his Blitz squad, and Tony just had enough and just said, fuck this league. Shy wanted me to just screw him over somehow, some way. I figured out a way to do that. I kind of just screwed with the time a little bit and the points to make it look like Huncho just didn't get that last point in time. And that's basically what happened. I gave him that idea, and Shy was like, you're so fucking evil. Yeah, dude, I was so hyped about it. I didn't say a single thing. I was just like, oh boy. Like, me and Shy, we had drinks. We were just chilling for like the new year. We were on live. We were just like prepped and ready to see this thing just go the fuck off.
I'd rather rate Reese Black win. It just makes him look better.
Bro, but like, what you rate his attire though?
He looks like Big Bird.
Big Bird?
And what's up with the mustache? That's new.
The porno stash? The porn stash?
Yeah, he looks definitely like that porn star.
Bad Karma 2, New Year's Eve. You having fun tonight, Shawn?
I thought it was Asian. Nah.
You having fun tonight, bro?
Oh, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's going down over here looking like Big Bird, you know what I'm saying? And the Reese Black, the straight razor, he will be victorious right here tonight.
Hell yeah, bro.
Zion! Ooh, we
Lean
got
back Enziguri.
Come on.
One, two, And a kick out last second from Jay.
20 seconds left. 20 seconds left. 20 seconds left.
This ain't looking
Come
good
on, Zion.
right now. Come on.
Zion,
Come
get
on.
this. What are you doing? Zion, what are you doing?
Hold on. As he bitch smacks Jay. 10 seconds
Prince.
left. Super
Come on
kick.
now. Come on.
Go for the roll-up.
Pin him.
Come on, 5, 4, referee.
Come on, Red. 1, 2, 3, 1.
Oh my God! Did it count? Did it count? Oh my God! Yay! In the last second, has won the OT3 Omega Championship.
No.
The referee is getting out of there. Oh no, the ref might have just screwed down Prince. There's no way.
What happened to go down there, man?
Oh my, yeah.
Do I love it whenever we bring down his confidence? Yes, because we bring him right back down to earth where he actually is. Something tells me he might make a little comeback. I was happy as shit whenever Sonic Man got him gone. I was even happy whenever Butterslug turned on him in that steel cage match all the way back when. You know, every time that he's gone from, like, every time that we rid him from a company, we always have a good solid 5 to 6 months of the shit being great until niggas be like, no, I want him back. Like an abused girlfriend. The shit is weird. But hey, you know, it is what it is.
I didn't watch it live, but I did go and watch the pay-per-view back with the smile on my face. Hearing and seeing, him get screwed, it just like it brings one joy. Like, to see someone who talks so highly about themselves and then they lose and they always have to come with a better excuse than the last one.
Well, I think me and Huncho have talked about it before. And since we are on the uncut, I would just say that Huncho knows why I had did what I did. Off the rip, I was Huncho's advisor, his consultant, his counsel. But he kind of like forced my hand on something. I just felt like he was trying to play the system. I don't know 100% for sure, so in a way, yes, I do feel some type of way about it. I felt like he was, trying to abuse the power that I have. I had to make a decision based off of what I was feeling and make something out of it. And maybe make it a story. We all know Huncho is one of the most controversial figures in the world of wrestling, FCW, OT3, BGE, and so why not, capitalize off of that? I think everybody enjoyed it as well. I'm sure, of course, Zion Prince probably didn't enjoy it, but I do know that he understands what this business is about. He knows what his career is about, you know what I'm saying? With everything that he has faced, the adversity, the enemies he's had, I guess we can both agree he's the GOAT.
And it went the way that it went. Yeah, pretty much after that, both me, Shy, and some friends, we all just hotboxed in this car. We were just fried after that. And then I just started yapping. About how ass Huncho was, because he was ass. Like, how do you lose to Jay like that? Like, still to this day, I don't understand how he lost to Jay like that. Like, personally, like, that just wouldn't be me. But nah, Huncho was having absolutely none of it, Shy has a huge ego, Huncho has a huge ego, so that's just, I knew that wasn't gonna go anywhere. Me and Shy, we literally had a whole plan. We had a whole plan mapped out until April, as far as like stuff that I think maybe we should do for O-Team and FCW. We weren't like merging, but yeah, Shy decided to just do this impulsive ass decision last minute because he's Shy. But regardless, Huncho was out of O-Team for that time being, and so because of that, I just mainly focused on FCW and moved on to the next thing, which was the draft.
While bridges were being burned in OT3, things were starting to rebuild for FCW as it made its return to CAW in January of 2024 with their second ever FCW Draft.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second ever FCW Draft. Introducing the general managers. First, from Chicago, Illinois, please welcome Sonic Man.
I felt like it was a good night. I feel like everybody respectively got drafted to the show they deserve to be on, you know. I don't remember what show. I think I got drafted to Slaughter. Slaughter was the Chaos show. Fight Night was more of the B show. And you know, Slaughter will ever be that A show.
I thought that was unique. Like I was saying earlier, that's like no league done this a show this based off of the draft. They normally like they'll send their wrestlers an email and be like, oh yeah, this your show. They never like publicly announce like this some like LCW. I thought that was pretty cool.
It was actually pretty dope, you know. With the draft, whenever you have a draft, it's like a revamp and everything like that. So it actually wasn't too bad at all, in my opinion.
So with the drafts, I'm not gonna lie, in 2024, I was just sitting here being like, okay, we're getting Mountaintop out no matter what. I don't give a fuck anymore. And I was really going out of my way to do things to make sure that like we were going to be on track for releasing Mountaintop in April of that year, no matter what. And I was so on timing that like I was just giving myself these hard ass deadlines, and it started with that draft. I gave myself a week to find 40 people that wanted to join FCW. And then after that, I gave myself another week to then edit the show to get everything out. And then eventually it just led to that big, you know, reveal of like all the superstars going to their respective brands that I personally picked and had Chad announce. I had a lot of really, it was like some people, it was kind of like the same system I had last time, where it was a bunch of people like no one really knew at the start, and things started to get better and better. I think my top 3 on Slaughter was like Shawn, Rush, Jaden Sparks, and KJ.
My last pick for Sunday Night Slaughter, my number 1 draft pick, he is the current reigning, defending, undisputed FCW All-Stars champion, and is seemingly what he likes to call himself, the face of FCW, and I damn sure believe it, he goes by the name of KJ.
Well, when I think of KJ, I think of a man who truly did do everything in this community. He worked the hardest, he was the best. The only thing that you can really say about KJ is he was mostly for himself, you know. He thought only for himself, only wanted the championships for him. It was very rare to see him try to lift someone else up. What are your thoughts on KJ?
Well.
Oh my god, my bestie KJ Forever Superior. KJ competing in both FCW and AEW. I was kind of like, I was supportive of my best friend, even though like I wasn't too fond of him competing in that company, just because he was my best friend. And like I know like me and that we had our issues for a good minute. I wasn't too fond of him competing over there, but like obviously my best friend, I still supported him, so obviously he wouldn't want me to come side to his matches and stuff like that. And so those were like the rare moments where you just see like me in the audience. I'm happy for KJ and the things he's accomplished over there and within AEW, and I was just glad like he was able to like to balance both and like give equal time to both companies, because that's like the main thing for me. Like obviously any league owner wants you to be active in their company, but if you're going to be in multiple companies, at least try to divide your time with those companies equally and not give one company more time than the other, because it's like you're holding them from producing content. So I was happy he was able to like to balance both. That's my main thing. So I was supportive of my best friend.
Well, as you know, my son KJ, he's a you know, but it's okay. I love him still, kinda. But even though he's that word, he's a pretty good wrestler, I say so. He's not better than me or nothing, but you know, I can see why he's like a top star here. You know, he's a good wrestler. He's got charisma. he brings in the gay people like for views. Like I can see it, you know. But he's a great wrestler. Yeah, that's my son.
Me and KJ, we have an interesting history. I always thought of him as, or at least when it came to his moveset, as like a Huncho clone. That was my first impression of him when we fought one-on-one a long time ago. It was, you know, I didn't really have much of an opinion on him because I just didn't really know him like that. We started becoming acquaintances after, you know, he started liking when I was bullying Huncho. And then as I was bringing FCW back, I started to see what all the hype with KJ was about.
Outstanding talent in the ring. Did his work, retired. You can't be nothing but grateful and look at his work and say that he really did carry the places that he was in for the time being, because he brought views. He brought a lot of views, and whenever OT3 officially got him, they put on some of the best work, even though bullshit happened in OT3.
So at that time, I despised him. Do I take away the credit that, you know, that he's literally one of the best? Absolutely not. I think he's definitely up there with me. If not, we're equals. But just as much as his ego tells him we're not, I definitely think we're equal. You know, for us to keep our world championships for that long, and I truly think if I never dropped my world championship, it would have still been that same. That was about it.
You know, everyone used to call him a cheeser, but I give him the benefit of the doubt of the fact that he was, you know, trained by Smoke, or from what I understand at least. And he took, you know, what he learned from the people that he was fighting up against, and, you know, tried to make his own unique moveset out of it, I guess. And that grew him into like a very huge star. One thing that I am open to him is that he does bring views. He is so, you know, focused on himself, but it's like a respectable amount of, you know, self-marketing. That is what pushed him to be one of the biggest superstars in CAW. With him being within FCW and as many views as he did bring, it also had a lot of similarities with that, and that being KJ was like a different but a same version of Huncho. You know, he wasn't necessarily rapping, he wasn't necessarily a SoundCloud rapper, but as far as, you know, promotion, as far as feeling entitled and, you know, trying to manipulate the system, so to speak, to get his way, like it all kind of comes back to me as like the stuff that I used to do with Huncho back in 2020.
Like me and him, we were close. He helped BG out, I helped him out. We helped each other out like equally, and you know, just seeing him how he got in his career, you know, it makes me happy. You know, and I was like, and I had a little. He not gonna admit it, but if he puts his pride to the side, he deep down he knows I'm a part of his success. Well, you know, I'm happy for him. I was happy for all that. You know, how big he got.
And also one of the people that also helped out when the Cruiserweight Revolution was going on. And I'm thinking Chris Daniels.
Y'all know Christian Daniels is Gary's protege. Great kid. Already, like, anytime that he came around with KJ, whenever they was still cool, man, that nigga used to tell the funniest jokes, bro. That nigga might be silent to y'all, but that nigga real funny.
I'm aware that you have a very extensive history with Christian Daniels. Can you elaborate on that?
I've always respected CD. You know, he's came from the ground up. You know, I've known him all the way back from when he started in OT back in 2020. And to see him grow to this mega star that he's become now, like, I always seen the vision with him. I always believed in CD. He and a lot of other people have started seeing that too. And I'm so happy for his success. Me and him, we used to go back and forth. One of my last matches that I had on 19 was with CD, and it was one of my favorite matches of all time. It was like a non-televised OT match.
Christopher Daniels, he's a midget. Yeah, it was me and CD were cool. Like, that's my boy. Like, he just got like short nigga syndrome, like midget problems. Like, he might spaz out a little bit, you know, pull a gun on you. You talk about his height. You know, he's a cool guy, cool wrestler. Colt Carpenter, yeah, he's alright. You know, that was my bro Chacho. You know, we tagged before, we were in teams. He seemed like a nice dude. You know, I mean, too bad like he has his mom is like such a bitch though. Like, you know, I don't know, like, that's unfortunate. Like, I don't know what I'd do if my mom was Hino Kazarian. Like, I might have to kill myself. But yeah, they're all right in my opinion.
Really, to be honest, it's very different. I don't have a lot of bad thoughts toward those two people specifically. It's always great competition with both of them, and I commend them for being able to hold the 2 and 3 spot while I hold the 1. You know, they're both cool people, great competitors, but they're not better than me. And honestly, I don't feel like sharing a top 3 spot with two people who can never touch me.
You know, to see everyone get drafted to their respective brands, it was interesting. I didn't know where I would go, especially. I didn't know if I was ever, I didn't know if they were going to swap the All-Stars title to Fight Night and the World title to Slaughter, or if I stayed on Fight Night and the champion stayed on Slaughter. Anything was possible. I expected myself to be a number 1 pick towards the end of it, but I didn't expect them to bring back Zion Prince.
The one thing that was implemented last second was for Chad to bring Huncho to Fight Night.
Oh shit, hold up. My script. Shit. I didn't have my phone. Hold up. Let me see, what is this I'm looking at? Oh, Mr. Sonic, I see I've made a mistake. See, apparently I have one more round. I have one more pick. One more pick. It says, I guess they didn't like the way you said face that runs the place. The company didn't like that, so they gave me one more pick of a certain man. I'm taking the showstopper himself, the face of FCW, Zion Prince.
I wanted to just see how he would do. I wanted to see like the views that he supposedly still brought to the table. I wanted to see if that was true. But some people were upset, and some people were happy. But yeah, for the sake of content, that's just the showbiz.
I wasn't too surprised, but at the same time, I was, but I shouldn't have, considering who was owning Fight Night at that time. So I honestly seen it as the danger zone for him. Now, he wasn't the same as he used to be. He's still not the same. The moment I seen that he had an FCW World Champion tag by his name, I already knew where it was headed. But it wasn't heading in the bad direction for me. It was heading in the bad direction for him.
To be honest, it did feel good to get drafted. I felt like at first I didn't think I was gonna really do nothing in FCW because I was playing tag team. But I changed that very quickly. And then at the end, when I was watching and I seen Huncho get drafted, I may have just turned it off. I wasn't trying to hear none of his bullshit or see none of his bullshit. I don't like the guy. I don't hope anything good for him. I honestly pray the worst for him. But everybody has their own opinions and everybody has their own way of doing things. But I think that guy is absolute dog shit in every way you could think.
I ain't gonna lie. At the time, I like that. That's kind of crazy because they didn't like, K didn't like Huncho. So I really think, that was really crazy. That was shocking, but think about it. That ain't no FCW about Huncho. That's kind of crazy to say, but like Huncho is like the center point of FCW. So like I seen him coming. I seen it coming. But at the time, hell no, that was shocking.
After 3 years, Huncho had made his return into FCW, and he had plenty of things to get off his chest, leading into FCW's first show of the year, FCW Touchdown.
Let me just get this out the way real quick. Sonic Man's a bitch. While I was gone, he said a lot of hoopla. I wasn't really listening like that, but he brought up Zenda. Yeah, I know. Let me tell you something right now, my boy. You don't want them problems.
Touchdown 2 was once again like a statement saying like, hey, like, we're officially back. It was supposed to come out like a couple days earlier than whenever it released, but Beast hit me up and said that he was going to be dropping the Rumble on that date. So I pushed it to a Wednesday, which is why I dropped on the 31st. And yeah, when it did eventually come out, Huncho had a lot to say about me and his past and future on FCW.
He said he made me a star. Nah, Playboy. It's the other way around. You see, that was the problem. That was the issue. I put an entire company on the map, and the owner thought he was on the map. He got big-headed. He felt like he should have been a superstar of the year. Meanwhile, you got a whole meal ticket headlining your shows, coming up with ideas such as what you're watching right now. Who's the football players here at FCW? What y'all think? That just came out of thin air? ZP does it all.
Funny enough, I remember making like a meme about Huncho and his little like yap session.
Let me just get this out the way real quick. Sonic Man's a bitch.
This dude behind the scenes was like crying to me, being like, "Bro, like you're just burying me," and I'm just like, "Bro, ain't no way you can't take a fucking joke, bro. Like there's just no way." We made a tournament to determine who would face Orbit for the Intercontinental Championship, and yeah, it was like a nice Hell in a Cell match. It was between Colt, Miles, and Tyler Myers. That was like a nice W triple threat match.
God, no, talk slow!
For the person of his own! Through the cage! Through the announcer's table! Myers, and he gets beat again from Colt Arthor. There's no way. Hey Colt, try to keep Tyler Myers down. Which he does. It's to King Miles, I presume for a cover. Is this it? One, two, come on Tyler! Tyler, no! Colt Arthor has won this match.
Oh man.
It was like pretty cool to like see a fresh new like crop of talent and stuff like that. It was dope in my opinion, you know. Hey, it's always good to, you know, fight new people and like have competition with people, bring out the best in each other, you feel me? So it actually wasn't too bad, you know.
That was also around the time frame where I had reintroduced the women's division. I just had some matches just to, you know, set like qualifiers. Jay Diamond had helped me set that up as far as like getting everyone to just do their matches. So yeah, big shout out to him.
How it felt being the women's GM in 2024 for FCW, it was amazing. You know, I had fun. It was different talents. You know, I love that I was able to bring my daughter in, Kamaya, and she was able to go against, you know, some of the best, and she was able to win the title as the first ever FCW Women's Champion. Why wouldn't I not want my daughter to, you know, win the title?
And she catches her in a mic shot. Oh my god, could this be it?
Shit.
And she submits! Oh my god. We just witnessed a brand new women's champion. That is insane. Congratulations to Kamaya. She just became the new women's champion. We had a infamous tag team match also on that show, the kickoff. CD and Orbit versus FTO. FTO had an interesting controversy worth of a win, let's just say that. He gets lifted up for ACL, goes for the pin. 1, 2, wait. What the fuck? Wait. What the hell was that count? What? Hold on. This piece of shit.
Still to this day, I will stand on it that the ref was not paid, and you know, FTO was just very dominant in their reign until Beast got injured.
Personally, he didn't do that. I don't think the ref counted fast. I won fair and square. Cole said that because he just wanted to get the heat off me. You feel me? He just wanted it all to be over with. But that ain't happening for real.
Yeah, they were caught in 4K paying off that ref, bro. I don't know what the fuck like niggas was thinking, but the show was quite fun overall. The main event, I feel like really was just like the thing that sparked everyone's interest, which was the triple threat between Beast, Ragnar, and CD.
What's her name? Like, what's your option? Wait till
Could this be it?
Pressure.
One,
Even be original.
2, 3.
This unoriginal piece of
CD has retained the FCW World Championship, and I know Zion Prince is looking backstage, very excited, and he's been very.
Oh, see, I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that, man. Till you said jump. See, now I remember. Yes, I did get jumped. I would have won. I ain't like CD good, Ragnar good, but they both didn't like me, so they both didn't want me to win. Their agenda was to make sure I didn't win. They didn't care who won. It just couldn't have been me. I still feel like that to this day, and it's still some bullshit.
I felt like that match was really just to test CD's resilience, and I just wanted to see if he could swim, what's the two biggest sharks I could think of. And yeah, like usual, CD once again retained this title. Big props and respects to CD.
As FCW made their statement with putting out Touchdown, the last thing that Sonic Man wanted to do was slow down that moment. He was so committed to keeping FCW as consistent as possible that he dropped a Slaughter show only 4 days after Touchdown had been released.
So after Touchdown, everyone kind of just looked at that show and just gave it that time to everyone kind of just appreciated it for what it was in terms of quality. The views were the views were fine. It wasn't anything like mind-blowing necessarily, so to speak. But the thing that shocked everyone was when I was able to drop a show, a Sunday Night Slaughter show, 4 days after. That show was 2 weeks in the making. I was working on Touchdown and Slaughter at the same time, but when Touchdown was out, I was only 20% done with Slaughter, and I pretty much just got on everyone else's ass in that group chat to get their asses in the ring, record my fucking matches, and get them to me like ASAP. And I literally did commentary I think I did commentary up until the day of the show, the day the show came out, and that was on the sign-up frame where I had dropped it, and I think it did more views than the pay-per-view itself. We had some interesting storylines that were kind of made throughout the show. KJ had his promo of things to say to Huncho.
I am the only man that puts asses in seats because I am superior, and that isn't no catchphrase like Godspeed or Speed Demon. No, it's the damn truth. And tonight, I'm gonna do what I do best, and that's beat the living shit out of my opponent. I
had a court hearing with FTO in regards to their atrocious behavior of paying off the referee, and I kind of led that storyline into them facing off against CD and Devin Quinn one more time inside of a steel cage.
Against KTFO Revolution, what do they call themselves? And listen though, I just got done talking to Beast in the locker room before the match. He told me that he paid off the ref, so this should be an easy defense. Wait, Beast coming, gotta go.
For him to snitch on you like that? Oh, I know that's tough, Beast. The verdict is you are both guilty. And I am sentencing. Yeah, you heard me. Yeah. You heard me, Beast. I said guilty, nigga. And I'm sentencing the both of you bums to face Revolution one last time. Y'all are gonna be locked up. Ain't gonna be no damn pinfalls or submission to save you this time, because I'm sentencing the both of you at our next pay-per-view Revenge. Y'all are gonna be defending your tag titles against both CD and Devin Quinn inside a steel cage.
I ain't like call you a bitch.
What?
There was a situation that involved Quay. It was the triple that was supposed to be Quay, Smoke, and Shawn. Quay won the match, but he hit me up and said that his vid or something got lost. And I was like, all right, fine, you're good. And instead of it being a one-on-one, I turned it into a triple threat, and I made that situation into a storyline where Quay got attacked. It was said that KJ had something to do with it. I just kind of made that into a blend of a storyline right there between him and Jaden Sparks. And the winner of Smoke versus Shawn Rush, which was Shawn Rush. And also simultaneously, as far as me, as I was calling out KJ for his bullshit, That was when an old friend of mine decided to come out and attack me.
I am absolutely appalled by all this bullshit that went on the show. And to be honest, I don't give a damn about how this affects my pay-per-view. As long as I'm concerned, on behalf of the Baltimore police, I am placing you under arrest.
Now, to all the Gen C members of Call that know absolutely nothing about anything and thinks that games like 2K24 is the greatest game of all time, probably don't know much about Sir Henry Francis. Sir Henry Francis is an OG. He's been across like multiple leagues for well over a decade, won multiple championships. And to be quite honest with you, he is one of, if not the greatest superstars of all time. Yeah, you know, he decided to attack me for reasons I still don't quite understand to this day. He said he was hired by someone, but yeah.
The Slaughter show ended up getting more views than Touchdown, which started some discussions in between which brand had brought more eyes to the product.
While things on Slaughter were kind of just starting to boil up as far as like all these storylines building up, that was kind of like the main focus I wanted to do, was just build all these storylines. On Fight Night, things proceeded to build up between CD and Huncho. And on top of that, let's just say there was someone that really was not excited to have Huncho back, and that was BK. And Huncho also did not like BK. He wanted BK gone. And yeah, they fought. BK got his ass beat, and
getting Shane King up. He hit him with Shane King's finisher.
Oh my God! No
Zion gets
fucking
the first
way!
fall. Now he's just taunting on Shawn King's body.
Yeah, he is just out here just taunting on him. He smells the blood that is lurking out of Shawn King. Oh my God! Another super kick.
Wait, is it over? Wait.
1, 2, 3.
He's
oh
out.
My God!
It was a murder.
Oh my God! Shawn King, no!
There's no way.
Zion Prince.
I was here. You know
I
I'm sorry, Kay, but I have to go celebrate.
It was an absolute fucking abomination. Yeah, while that was like going down, I think it was Orbit decided to have a crash out and DQ himself during his match against Colt.
And he's going for it once again.
I think we're on the verge
Are we on the verge of a new champion? Go for the super kick again. Oh no! Devin Quinn reversed. And a German suplex at the last second from Devin Quinn as he picks him up.
Last breath by Devin Quinn.
Oh wait, what's Devin Quinn doing? Wait, oh! What the fuck? Where did he have fucking pussy pulled out the brass knuckles out of his pocket?
Wow.
Oh my God. That kind of led into the main event, which would be CD versus Huncho to become the undisputed FCW World Champion.
undisputed FCW heavyweight champion of the fucking world. Oh my god. Congratulations to Christian Daniels. That was a hell of a...
Felt great to get my long-awaited vengeance from OC3. It felt fortifying. It felt, satisfying. It felt like a sweet moment. Not even a sweet moment. A feel-good moment to bury that nail, push him aside for good.
I feel like that match was just all about like respect between those two and just seeing who was just the best. It was definitely one of the best matches that happened that year. As CD kept building his brand with all these people that he's been beating, I don't know. I feel like KJ felt some type of way to a degree, and he wanted to really just build himself even more as far as just like views for the next pay-per-view.
As things proceeded to build in storylines from both brands, Sonic Man planned to have a huge show drop in late February of 2024. The show was called FCW Revenge.
Revenge was really just like it was originally looked at as like our version of like a Backlash, but I decided to just have it set for our show in February because why not? But let me tell you, bro, like around this time frame, when I tell you I was killing myself to get these shows out, I was literally killing myself to get these shows out. I was pulling all-nighters. I think for Fight Night, I was just bumping Yeet all night, hyping myself up to get that Fight Night show out the way. For Slaughter, I was just pushing through the sleep to get that show out on time. And it was the same thing for Revenge. Things were just taking a little bit longer. And as I kept adding more pressure to myself, because going into that pay-per-view, we also had some highlights and some other promos. And just some hype overall to just get people excited for the pay-per-view. That was when we had the Women's Championship match in which I believe Kenzie Bernardo ended up winning and becoming the new Women's Champion.
Kenzie with the punch. Manhandle slam.
Manhandle slam.
And a single leg drop kick.
Oh, she hit her. She hit her.
1,
oh, this gotta be it.
2, and 3. Kenzie with the upset win. And Kenzie just like took the opportunity when she saw it. That was one hell of a performance from her.
Yeah, I think the start of that showed FTO once again retaining their titles against CD and Orbit.
You see when he escaped in the cage, Devin Quinn is trying to like beat them. Oh my god, that is, they're not killing that, but they're definitely not fans of these two. Absolute bullshit.
Yeah, we had some returning faces. We had, that was around the time when we had Bruno Peck come back for the first time in like ages. He was back in the mix, and he put up a good showing against Caleb Bennet. And the two headliners of that show was myself versus Sir Henry Francis in a nice 2-out-3 falls match.
Yeah!
my god.
Might be GG.
Ooh, Sonic Man gets him in the ring.
The ring. Your winner of the match is
Until we see knocking out Colt. Oh, we wanna get ready for it.
It was kind of nice just to get that little like nostalgia warm up match back for at least for myself. Yeah, you know, I was really proud of how that match went. The travesty that happened between Quay, Shawn Rush, and KJ was something that I'm just absolutely disgusted with. I'm just shocked from my own eyes of like why Shawn Rush would do such a thing. And oh wait! Oh my god! This could be his moment! Can Shawn Rush
win this?
Can he wait, he's picking up KJ. What's going on here? What? What?
Are you kidding me?
Are you fucking serious? Are you kidding me? You sold your soul for this? Oh my god.
He's not even all of us. He has to celebrate one half of the year. He's half! And you sold your soul to the devil!
This is an absolute abomination. You know, him getting on his hands and knees, you know, doing all this for KJ is just disgusting. I don't understand why. I mean, like, sure, there was like factions involved and this and the third, but I'm not gonna lie, like, getting on your hands and knees for another person when you are in a championship match, like that is Miles level dicky. Like, that's just me.
KJ manages to have Shawn Rush bend to his will, helping him retain his All-Stars championship. FCW Revenge ended up becoming the second ever FCW show to hit 1,000 plus views within a week. And it also became FCW's biggest show to date.
After that show, Revenge just it just did crazy numbers. I think AEW had just put out their Rumble at that time, and that also got a crazy amount of views. And that was when they were saying, like, where's the competition at? Yeah, our show also hit a substantial amount of views. So, yeah, it was back between competition with FCW, AEW, and BG at the time, at least.
Something interesting that happened during this time frame was that FCW came back to dropping shows. All the other leagues seem to have taken a step back from the spotlight, leaving FCW as the only show active.
One thing that was crazy though is that, like, even before 24 came out, one thing I just interestingly noticed, and maybe this was the case, you know, even before FCW came back, I noticed that like leagues were taking a little bit more breaks than usual around this like era of WWE. But I just thought it was like comedy that like no other league was being active when FCW was like running shit.
I mean, from what it sounds like to me is that like the niggas just scared, like they scared the competition, you know, like that's some pussy shit. Like I don't know, bro. Like me personally, if I own a league and I heard some niggas coming back, I'm not gonna care. I'm dropping my shit regardless, you know. Like, so what if he got more views? That's competition. Competition makes money, inspires to do better. And the fact that niggas just drop out when they see a league like that comes back, bro, that pisses me off. Like this is why y'all fall off. If y'all stay on top, you know, like FCW has or been, then y'all be more famous. But people are just scared, I guess. So I don't fucking know.
I feel like everybody was kind of just taking a break, because at the same time, it does take a lot to run a league, and it's very understandable. But I feel like everybody just wanted a big break. Everybody was kind of taking their own their own water break, their own five. One thing about BGE, no matter if it's taking a break or not, BGE has always been there. And I feel like BGE was the one league who's never really took a long break as he's done, the past couple times. But XCW and AEW, they've always been around to take breaks, but AEW always comes back, stronger and harder than ever.
It felt weird, only competing with myself as far as just like show quality. It was the opposite of the pandemic when I was, going up against a very pissed off Kendall Kazarian, fucking OT3 in BGE. Like, it just didn't feel the same without my contemporaries.
I wouldn't have guessed that, like, back in 2020, 2021, I would have never thought FCW would be the only company running at that time. And honestly, it was great to see, like, and hear about, like, obviously they would call for, oh, bring back AEW. I'm like, I'm drained. Like, he's there for you guys. Like, he's pushing out content. He's gonna like push it out, whatever. I was drained. I was done. Even though like he himself gets drained, I was happy to see that he still went and was like releasing content, giving people like something, because every other company was like, they were done. Like, their social bar, like their social battery was dead. Like, we were done. So FCW really did their thing for early 2024. Until other companies like started rebooting or whatever they were doing. I wasn't really paying attention to other companies, so I can't really like speak on what they were doing or if they were present, but I know I did hear a lot about FCW at that time.
I feel like that FCW try to put everybody on notice and put everybody on the horizon that FCW is back, dropping multiple shows in 2 weeks, after the game just came out. So FCW is like one of them type of leagues where they want to drop multiple content thinking you might just get one show when you're going to get more than one show. You might get 2, you might get 3.
Things can definitely happen. I can personally say that. People do get burned out. I can relate. For new instances like this, where the game is just not playable, that's just something that I just never knew was the case.
Rumble, production-wise, we always try to make Rumble our best pay-per-view. We always try. Our Rumbles is always different from everybody else's Rumble, so we try to make it the best ever. So that always take time. Our Rumbles never dropped on time. That's nothing new. But other leagues, like AEW, I don't know what was up with OT3. I don't know what was up with, but that would happen with BG.
I felt like there was no passion for the game anymore, man. Like nobody had love for the game. It was a lull period, bro. I told you, ever since like they changed the rules and this shit became so much easier game for jobbers to get over, they took the skill out of it, man, and that put us in a lull period, a very bad period. And then we had a fake ass owner in other places that's been so called running the company for however long. He was sitting there running a tirade on the only other place that I didn't think would ever stop. And that is OT3. I never would have, thought of it. FCW did their thing, though.
As leagues were wrapping with their last shows on WWE 2K23, Carl was preparing to adapt to the release of WWE 2K24. Sonic Man thought this was going to be a smooth transition, but he later finds out how broken WWE games can be within the first month of release.
I'm not going to lie. When 2K24 came out, I was kind of excited to see that they had a new match types added to it. Thought that was like a nice, fresh little addition of the game. But one thing I didn't account for in my brain was just how fried the game it was going to be like the first month it came out. Everything was broken. Certain matches just didn't work in custom arenas, and the game itself was just a mess. I just wasn't sure how we were going to be running stuff. On one end, it was just let's just keep things moving. But, when 25 people were like, yeah, bro, we're going to have to wait this out a little bit. I'm just like, fine. Once again, I never played 22. I didn't buy 23 until a month and some change after it came out. So this is my first time experiencing this. And even despite that, I still wanted to try to get shows done. So I decided to have a FCW live event just to keep things moving, and more specifically, I think in my own head, I wanted to be the first league to put out a show for 24, and that was what we did for that show in Dubai that same month that the game came out.
Gentlemen, welcome to FCW Live in Dubai. Here tonight we have some returns, some fan favorites, and a groundbreaking tournament announcement later on tonight. We're excited to be here live with all of you fans here tonight.
Yeah, we had some podcasts drop that month too. We've had I think I put out one more show from Friday night. That was about it. And yeah, my main focus was just getting that first pay-per-view out for 24. And yeah, I think CD was out of the picture for whatever reason, I guess. KJ KJ's like an interesting individual, man. I'm not gonna lie. He decided to pull out of the show because he was going through a lot of stuff, even though he was on the game playing it, but he just didn't want to do a league match. That was one of the things that I just let slide. But yeah, I think I did have like a King of the Ring tournament established on that show. And it was one of those things that just happened very fast. I was like, hey, like first 8 people that shows up to this party will be put it in the King of the Ring. And that's just basically how we did it. It was very rapid paced. King of the Ring, I was like, all right, you fight this person, you fight this person. But yeah, one of the matches, our president, our lovely president, Tony Plank, unfortunately ended up losing to his arch nemesis, Mari Dio.
Oh no! And once again, Mari lifts him up for a powerbomb!
That has to be it.
1, 2, 3. Mari has picked up the W in this tournament. Mari has seeked redemption, and the crowd is absolutely ecstatic for this moment.
Okay, that seems like a rage bait question. I appreciate you, Mr. Interviewer, asking me some question like that. Fuck that match. Let's talk about the one before that, where like I fought and beat the shit out of Mari for whoever wins become the official president of FCW. And as we all know, I won that match because I'm that nigga. Now you really thought you were gonna turn my country into America? Fuck out of here. As we all know, I beat his ass, got his ass deported, got his 2 other friends deported, and they were never seen again in this country. Okay, that win was way more significant and important in FCW history than that fuck ass King of the Ring. Okay, next question.
And the show did end up closing out with, I believe it was Ragnar versus Colt Carpenter, in which he did eventually win his very first ever world championship on his first try.
And now Cole fighting back and trying to get some space in. And he clips him with the super kick. Get that second point. 1, 2, 3. City in this country as the double, both tag team and FCW world champions.
I feel like I proved a lot of people wrong, and I felt like, I proved myself right, that I could be more than I was. And I was just glad I got an opportunity to showcase that, and for people to, see that I wasn't just, a tag team bitch. I was always more than that.
A lot of things we had a lot of moving parts, and we were like a little bit behind schedule, but I was so confident and wanted to keep things pushing.
Following a successful launch of FCW's first show of WWE 2K24, Sonic Man was completely locked in on putting out his long-awaited FCW Mountaintop 3.
Mountaintop was such a long-awaited journey. It was 4 years in the making. I originally had visions of it as far as like the aesthetics and everything all the way back in like the summer of 2020. And to see it finally get put out after countless days, countless arguments, dramas, and everything of the sort was it was beautiful. Because to me, it felt like the culmination of everything to do with FCW.
Longer undefined.
Miles finally got his moment with Dude Bro in that kickoff show. That was nice to see Miles finally get his match.
It was long awaited, from not being at like any of the mountaintops to being in one. So it was actually pretty dope. Losing to Dude Bro, yeah, that was a stinger. That was a bummer. You feel me? Especially, I did, like we did, put on some banger matches and stuff like that. But he's always had my number when it comes to victory. So it's like you win some, you lose some. Shit happens. You feel me? What you gonna do about it? You can't cry over spilled milk. So you just gotta move on and move forward.
There were so many stories that kind of just got into the finish line, I guess, so to speak.
Mania, it's time. Are you ready?
Of course I'm ready. Are you ready, my tribal chief?
I'm always ready. We gotta show them what the monarchy is all about.
The show kicked off with Huncho versus Cole Carpenter, and it was a nice, very long, 30-minute, hard-hitting match. No, I'm just kidding. That shit was like 5 seconds.
What's that? What's that? What? No! No!
Cole Carpenter submits Zion Prince to keep his FCW championship.
Why, Lord? Why? How could you do this to me?
Honestly, I felt really good about it, because a 5-minute match is not really something you can come back with an excuse. But a guy like that, he can always find an excuse. But going 0-3 at Mountaintop is crazy. I didn't even know that beforehand. But Huncho will always be ass, so I expected nonetheless. And fighting him, I kind of it was like what are they doing? Like, it's just a free. He's gray loot. He's free loot. Like, it don't make no sense.
Yeah, so Cole retained his championship after he bitched Huncho. We had a interesting Money in the Bank. Yeah, that was a thing. I don't know, man. Shawn did win that, and there's some back and forth between that and yeah, there's a lot of shit I let slide that day. I low-key kind of screwed over Shawn, I'm not gonna lie. That was definitely my bad.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Shawn Rush has won the money!
Caleb did eventually end up getting the briefcase back.
Is he going for the curb stomp of hell? Go for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, Caleb Bennet is the official Money in the Bank briefcase holder.
We had Lucio versus Colt Arthor. They competed in a very hard-hitting Iron Man match to determine the undisputed IC and US champion, in which Colt Arthor, he ended up getting the dub. He continued his undefeated streak, and yeah.
7, 6, 5, 4. He kicked out again! God. Oh my god! And your winner! Oh my god! And this match ends with both men on the floor. Oh my god! And your winner is the undisputed Intercontinental and United States champion. What a fucking match! Holy shit!
Damn, I give this match 5 stars.
I also give this match 5. He was really like a superstar, I felt like, towards the latter portions of that Mountaintop show. Celia Cartel ended up becoming the final FCW Women's Champion. That was really beautiful to see.
Kenzie Bernardo. I don't know why I said her last name like that, but
For a former champion to make her debut at a big show like this,
I know, but it's amazing. And now a French kiss. Oh god, no. Persia with a submission.
The submission.
Is this?
Persia makes her tap. Oh my god, you lost
Things did happen, so she wasn't champion anymore. But that didn't stop anything for our family legacy. Because you see this belt right here? The first bitch to win it and the last bitch to ever hold it. As the final FCW Women's Champion, I don't know, it's just wonderful. Like, this division has always been mine. This division has always been dominated by Celia. I have beaten some of the best all over the world. Bitch, I'm international. Bitch, I am and will forever and always be the international A-lister. I have went to so many leagues and I have showed them why I am a motherfucking legend, why I'm a motherfucking Hall of Famer.
Huge shout out to Mr.Mania for hosting that show, man. Like, he really was able to, I was so glad to let him express, his personality and really be hands-on on top, because I felt like he had a lot of potential and he really showed out for that show.
Now, when I think of Mountaintop 3, I think of everything I had to do, talking, walking, styling, and profiling. This was actually my only second time hosting a show, but first time I did it, it was terrible. I did terrible. I didn't do much, But this time, Sonic Man really gave me the opportunity to be hands-on with a lot of things. So, I got to do some segments. I got to talk about more things. I got to be completely open with how I felt and on specific types of subjects. And it really felt like I was hosting the show instead of just being the voice of it.
And I was really happy that he was able to announce our People's Championship match between Tony Plank and Devin Quinn.
But we will also be introducing a new championship, a title that is for you. It is the People's Championship, ladies and gentlemen. Please, would you get on your feet and marvel at its beauty?
Mr. Tony pulled up as Captain America, gave him like a nice, cool little entrance. That was my idea. I was glad to have been able to do that for him. Big shout out to Tony Plank for pulling through and becoming the first and only People's Champion.
What can I say? TGW is legendary. I can make any gimmick work. I generally think I had the most unique gimmick in history of CAW. Okay, the president was legendary. Even now, that I'm not the president no more, people still call me Mr. President. Like, hey, Mr. President, how you doing? Some niggas actually think that I actually ran for president. Like, that's crazy. Like, niggas thought I was the actual president of the United States. Honestly, that was one of my favorite times in CAW. It was one of the most fun. And it was fun just having like a little goofy ass character that got me over, So I think, what can I say? Credit goes to me because I made it up. Okay, like, I'm the president. It's a legendary gimmick, and yeah, that was a good time.
Oh, and a kick to the chest. Oh my God, cum shot. He said open wide. I heard him. One, two, three.
Oh my God!
And your winner.
And
the president,
People's Champion,
Tony Plank. Oh my God! I salute you, Presidente. Oh, I don't know. That match was great. How did you feel about that match, Mr.
That match was absolutely fucking phenomenal.
It feels great to be the longest reigning and greatest People's Champion ever, okay? Like, no one has ever had a reign as long as mine or as great as mine, okay? And it felt great being in Mountaintop, beating the shit out of one of my favorite buddies, but also favorite rivals, Devin Quinn. You know, I'm glad it was against him. As much as I shit talk Devin Quinn, that's my boy, okay? I hope he knows that. I love him to death. But I'm glad that I got to fight him at one of the biggest stages of all time, and I got the honor of becoming the first ever People's Champion. That was a great moment.
One of the headlining matches of this show featured the rising star, Corey Blake, competing against Joshua Prince and current FCW Allstars champion, KJ.
The main headliners for that show was myself and Huncho, and then KJ, Chad, and a debuting Corey Blake. Corey Blake was a very fast rising star. Well, before I get to him, the match was initially supposed to be Chad, Quay, and KJ, and there was a lot of like miscommunication, and I was really trying to just get the show just down the road, and because I tried hitting up Quay basically, and he didn't like hit me back until like last second, and he seen that I was gonna just move on with like another match, and so he just like left, and which is like very reasonable. I feel like I could have probably been more like communicative on my end. And I did like apologize to him afterwards. So yeah, that was definitely my fuck up. But the match we did end up going with was Corey Blake, KJ, and Joshua Prince.
Hello, I'm Corey Blake, the River Devil. I made my official debut back in 2020. As of after FCW closed its doors, I've been owner of a company called International Pro Wrestling. I have been in several companies such as Call of Honor, Red Gem Wrestling, Great Britain Wrestling, etc.
The thing with Corey Blake, that idea was helped set up by KJ. Even like before that, I feel like Corey was just this big superstar that everyone wanted to see succeed in FCW. Like his come up was so fast and also like kind of cinematic almost.
I am signing to the FCW Slaughter roster, but that's not the only thing I'm here for. I came here because I was trying to find ways to elevate my career even more. It's like, how could you elevate your career after being in the underground for so long? The real reason I am here is for a certain man in the locker room, a certain individual that I've had my eyes set on for a long time, but he's never answered the call. And I'm of course talking about the superior legend KJ.
I definitely feel like FCW brought a lot of unique factors to the table, and to me, it's what made my experience in FCW special. You know, it wasn't super long, but I definitely feel like I left somewhat of a mark in the company, main eventing the last show. You know, but despite me not winning, but FCW definitely has a unique feel, a very unique style, and a lot of times I feel like it's underappreciated in a sense.
I was very excited to see how this match would go. I had them in a lovely press conference.
See, this is what I mean. All talk, just all talk, KJ.
Yeah. See, you're right. He is all talk. So you shouldn't be worried about the King of Nightmares himself.
Because we all know he's not even Wait a minute, KJ, if I may. How do you know that neither of us are gonna walk out champion?
If you may, don't you ever interrupt me again.
And that was just mainly just a part of like the whole rollout of Mountaintop. Yeah, they all said the things that they wanted to say. And yeah, it was definitely a main event for the sites, you know, for Mountaintop.
I stare at the moon. When this darkness has become a haven, I'm going deeper underground. Can't face it. Better off dead in
god! Joshua Prince is the new FCW All-Stars champion. He is the undisputed All-Stars champion. Holy shit.
Corey Blake, in my eyes, was the biggest star in that match. And even though he did take the pin in the end, he was still the biggest star in that match. Joshua Prince proved everyone wrong and ended up becoming, once again, All-Stars champion. KJ backdoored himself out of that situation by getting handed a briefcase and to getting his title back. And then turning off countouts and disqualifications to help win his title back. So yeah, that's good for him. I feel like there was just a lot of things that I just let slide. Yeah, that was one of the main negatives that was just when it came to me just being so focused and zoned in on getting a shot on time. Seeing the quicker option of doing things over, logic and reasoning behind it.
I'm proud of KJ. He got one more reign before he got out, bro. That's all I can say is that I'm proud.
Definitely if the match stipulation, which was 2 out of 3 falls, I scored the first pin in that match, so I guess you can definitely say I was the winner. But you know what? KJ was the better man out of the 3 of us, and like I said, I've known KJ for such a long time, and I think it was nice seeing him have this moment at FCW for one last time. Such a shocking and such a memorable moment that sticks with a lot of people, and so I'm just, like I said, I'm really glad I was able to be a part of that history, despite my loss.
Caleb Bennett, you crybaby ass nigga. You didn't have to do it. You could have cashed in on Joshua Prince yourself, my nigga. You didn't have to do it, bro. But it's fine, though. Because KJ is gone, and I forgave you. But, I mean, bro, at the end of the day, bro, that Mexican bitch, he got the title back, you know what I'm saying? But, I deadass remember, this nigga Sonic Man told me, he said at Mountaintop we were gonna have a multi-man match where all the titles were gonna be on the line, and he just kind of changed plans, and it pissed me off because I was looking forward to that match,
But yeah, that was definitely a shocking finish. A couple days before Mountaintop, I had issued in a Hall of Fame show. I was when everyone got inducted. I inducted myself, Ray, BK, and Silvia Cartel into the Hall of Fame.
But I will always be the best there was, the best there is, and the best will ever be. Because I am D.O.D. baby.
Mr. Prince ain't on shit. Because I'm going to be rooting Sonic Man on. I will be in the building watching it go down, I'm going to be real happy. And we got all the King family bottles ready for whenever Sonic Man does win this battle. I feel astounded. I love it, bruh. This ring on my hair finger, bruh. I'm surprised they even make rings for me. Hey, y'all gotta understand, bruh. Legacy matters. You know what else matters? Loyalty. That's all you guys need in this world, for real. Y'all handle y'all business. I handled mine, though. It's y'all turn. Try and get in this bitch.
And while my passion may have started to dwindle from that point forward, it was you guys who helped bring it back. And that's why I'm still standing here today. That's why I'm able to do things like beat up a stupid midget in a cage for a world title at OT Mania. And that's why I'm going to beat him again this Sunday.
Where do I begin? It's an honor being nominated and being inducted into the Hall of Fame for FCW. There's many great superstars here, and it's just an honor.
It was a really beautiful night, and I was glad that everyone got their very well deserved introduction.
Mr. Sonic Man was appearing once again to compete against his known rival Huncho at this year's Extravaganza. But with a twist, should Huncho win, he takes 50% ownership of FCW.
Everyone wants to know basically what happened. Essentially, we had a match. He was up 1 on me. The game split. we still stayed with the points, or with the point that he had on me to begin with. I think at the start of that initial match, I was just over here thinking I was trying to like make the match look good and shit. And Huncho was just more focused on just trying to fight me, so that was kind of what threw me off. But in the second match, I pretty much just dog walked him for the majority of it. And there was a point where I got him back into the ring. I don't know why in my brain, I think like, I'm like pre-firing in my head, I'm gonna get hit with like a victory roll or some shit. So that's why I like ran in. I was like 2/3 away into the ring and then just rushed him with a fin, I believe. Yeah, I think that was like the main issue. And got my first point a few minutes after that. And then I submitted him and that was it. The main issue was that he didn't call this out to me until like an hour, like after the match was already recorded. And then he said that he didn't want to do a rematch. He said he just wanted to just like do something else or whatever. So we were originally going to do a rematch, and then he didn't want to do a rematch. He was going to try to sim it after a couple of days. And I was like, let's just, like, we could have just got this done like a long ass time ago. And this is once again like me just thinking about like the show and getting things done on time. And just with him just being like indecisive like this, it's just like, bro, it's either like we get this match done or the match we already did is official. And he knew this at this point. I told him like what was going to happen. We didn't get like the match done at like a certain point or a time frame. So yeah, due to scheduling differences, things were just being prolonged. I eventually just told him, look bro, like if we don't get this match done by this weekend, then the match that we have is official. And I told him that I would give him a rematch on like the next show that we had. Yeah, he was not a fan of that at all. And he proceeded to cry about it and not send his entrance. And you know, like I've been in call like way too long to just sit here and be like, oh no, someone's not gonna send me their entrance. For me, it's just like, I think another thing he bitched about was that I accidentally used the no sell thing after a finisher, even though I told him I'd give him like a free pin. But yeah, you know, when it comes to rules and stuff like that, like maybe not wait an hour post the match to tell me about it, you know, because in the heat of the moment, like shit just can't happen. But yeah, regardless, he just was not happy about that, and respectfully, I just didn't care. I just wanted to get the show over with because I was low-key getting burned out. And yeah, the match ended up being what it was, as far as I'm concerned. You know, I'm glad to have gotten that like last dub over Huncho. It didn't do anything for me, but yeah, I'm glad that we were able to finish up that story.
Oh my god! Just plugging him down and another team
Maybe I made it more complicated than it had to be. Maybe I'm mistaken, but it's taking something out of me. Maybe I'm too patient cause I waited until now to see. Take what you say and I ruminate away reality. We'll never ever put it back together. I should've known better, you're a lie. Unshattered, the picture I was trying to see myself in. Unshattered, the promise that I couldn't help believe. I don't know how it got so cold, but my chest is holding the hole I fell in. Unshattered,
Is that it? The Black Widow's locked in again?
Yes!
Oh my no!
Get the fuck, you little whore! Bye bye.
You
Get your
died,
acknowledging, boy.
guys.
Now, you're a winner and the real GOAT, the real staple here in FCW. Was that even a question? I told you, he wins on fucking. The thing about it is, this man Sonic Man.
Oh my
right
god,
after
I
he
can't
got
believe it.
won the two
I
Hall of
can't
Fame
believe
rounds.
it.
Oh my god, one for his own company, another one for the Hall.
I feel like that nigga's a big baby, and I feel like Sonic Man is just better than him, to be honest. And the record that it has, you know, I don't remember what the record was, but I'm pretty sure, you know, Sonic Man has a lot of wins over Huncho. Huncho's a big ass crybaby, and from the start of the match, Sonic Man was destined to win. Even if Sonic Man was blind, I still think he would have won.
Sonic Man always been beating him, from what I've seen at least. I never really seen, since 2K19, when they first got into it, I never really seen no clips Huncho pinning Sonic Man. It was always Sonic Man had. He even posted a whole montage, a whole just of him beating. Like, that was crazy. That's that's a whole nother level of disrespect. I would have been mad.
Shit like that happens. I mean, like, bro, like, niggas need to come to an agreement, bro. All that, you know, all that bullshit, man. All that shit is out of the window, bro. Y'all are grown men. We are all grown men. Let's cut the bullshit. Let's get this shit on the road, my nigga. When we fight, one and done, my nigga. You heard me. One and done. One and done.
That nigga's ass. Not gonna lie. 2 matches, like losing 2 matches in the same show, like that's kind of crazy. Like, and the first one was like 5 minutes. Then he got tapped out. But yeah, I don't know, bro. He just has like bad luck against like Sonic Man. You know, like I don't even like how he like entered the show. Like, he came in all saying, "I'm the real FCW World Champion." He brought in a whole new World Championship that he didn't win, and then he just to lose that one immediately after, and then, you know, he got his ass beat by Sonic Man. So yeah, he's the GOAT at rapping. You know, no talking is still like top 3 rap songs of all time, but like wrestling wise, like, yeah, he kind of fell off. Like, not gonna lie.
Sonic Man never cheated him. I from what I know of, from me seeing what the hell happened, Huncho is the cheater. And he just won't take accountability. The man just turned 27, not even a couple months ago. And he cannot take accountability for the things that he has done at that grown age. Something's wrong. Sonic Man took the perfect precautions at the time. No bullshit. Like, he made sure nothing else came about. He just made sure that everything was done smoothly and in a non-ghetto fashion. Perpetrator decided to act like the victim. He took to social media, talked shit, talked down on the company, as I told y'all he would do every single time, and he still came back. It's bad. Taking no accountability at 27 is crazy. Him going on that whole tirade, and then that leading, you know, Sonic Man to really handle his business with him even more. I'm pretty sure dude is like only won 9 matches against Sonic Man, who has won over 20. So it's just crazy, bro.
Controversial, like I said, man. Everything controversial, you're gonna hear Huncho's name in it. You know, we could just date it back to OT Mania. You know what I'm saying? He was in the main event, also with Sonic Man. And it was a controversial finish. Mountaintop, controversial finish. Everybody wants to see the man fall. So everyone's gonna pay to see that man fall. They're gonna hope and pray. So that just lets you know what type of guy he is. He's Superman. Everybody's gonna pick Batman because Superman is overpowered. Let's just be honest.
I know a lot of people have a lot of hatred and strong, intense dislike for Huncho, but for me, you know, someone that's had a back and forth with him for years, you know, I almost kind of just like pity him to a certain degree. Like, I don't really necessarily have any like animosity towards him now. You know, I wouldn't be opposed to us having a conversation right now. I don't regret doing what I did. That's just with his case, you know, like I regret like the shit I did with Jaden Sparks and the shit that I did with Shawn. With him, no.
Mountaintop 3 would go on to be FCW's biggest show of all time, having over 2,000 views. This pay-per-view was 4 years in the making.
Mountaintop did end up becoming the biggest pay-per-view of all time, even though it ended up premiering. It finished premiering at like 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning. Yeah, like I'm so glad that like all my hard work paid off to hitting that. That's just all I have to say. And I was really happy to see that FCW had gotten to such a high point after so many years.
Mr. Sonic Man, everyone wants to know, the world wants to know, why did you decide to close FCW post Mountaintop 3?
Well, I'm going to be blunt with you, brother. To be honest, I feel like Mountaintop was such a high note for FCW to just end right there because so many stories had concluded. It wasn't a perfect finish, but it was a grand enough finish that I was personally proud of.
You know, I definitely wish that the time that I had there was extended because I enjoyed what I had done, and I was looking forward to what else was in store for me, and whether that was going after the All-Star Championship again, or if it was accomplishing something even better than that. But unfortunately, when the doors closed, I was kind of left aimless, and I didn't really know what to do from there. But I can definitely say, even though it was a short experience and I only had 2 matches, it has given me some of the best moments of my career.
Honestly, it's a great company. At first, like, obviously it was new competition to me when it first dropped, so I wasn't the biggest fan. Obviously I wanted to be the top league, and any league owner obviously wants to be like that top league, whether they want to admit it or not. Like, your goal at the end of the day is to be the top league, whether you want to be like, oh yeah, I just was doing this for fun, I just want to do it for fun. No, you wanted to get the top league. That was the goal, and I'm not afraid to admit that. Like, that was my goal. But overall, like, I would say FCW definitely had content like that no one else was doing. Like, the camera angles, the green screening, a lot of these things like other companies were not doing, and FCW brought that to the community and had those companies like doing it then. And I would say that definitely had an impact on the community and how like content was produced. Now me and Kaya like we're great friends. Not meaning that we talk like that much or whatever, but like we do talk or whatever on phone calls, text messages or whatever. So like, yeah, like there's a good relationship there. Now obviously you see I'm here in the flesh. But yeah, and as for the pandemic era of call, like 2020 to 2021, excuse me, 2022, that was one of my favorite eras of all time. Like, every company was damn near active due to the pandemic. Content was being pushed out left and right. I was pushing out hella content. Other companies were pushing out hella content. I became the longest reigning US champion as well during that era. But it was just a fun era. Like, I was like super into the community, like into the content creating aspects. I loved it so much. Like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I would want to go back to that era. Like, that was the era, like, to me and Call.
There were plans to continue FCW following that, but let's just say the conversation I had earlier where I was just letting like a lot of shit slide, I decided to stop letting that be the case. And because I stopped letting people just do whatever the fuck they want, you know, it was a lot more crybabies and a lot more issues that I personally cared to deal with. In my brain, I was just sitting here thinking, do I really feel like dealing with all this for like the next 8 months? And I was just like, nah, I'm good. It's not about like a particular individual necessarily that closed the league per se, but I just didn't feel like it was necessary to give myself the headache of pushing through all of that, especially since I was, you know, being a bit more strict as like a GM, and, you know, the issues that people tend to like just lie about, like their situations, whether if it was like someone's pen getting glitched or someone, you know, trying to gaslight me to saying that they didn't break a rule, or someone claiming that they fucking lagged or whatever. You know, things like that I just didn't care to deal with. Like, half of these people in call are like grown-ass men, like having arguments with me, crying to me, and I just didn't really care to deal with any of that.
This is a bitch-ass company. No, I'm playing. As a whole, all of FCW, like all time, it's a very well put together and well ran company. Might have missed 3 years, this bitch, but I ain't missing no more. It hit its peak. It did what it needed to do. It boosted the community. Like, it brought out the competition in everybody for them to do better. Shit, FCW deadass played a huge role in the community, and that's all I gotta say about that.
Well, hearing it from like your side, you know, like you were basically taking everything like on your own and everything. Mr. Sonic Man had like a lot of head shoulders, you feel me? Like, you're running a whole league like by yourself, and it's like a lot of people like were inactive and everything like that, so that didn't really help much. But, you know, I had a feeling like it wasn't gonna last forever. It wasn't gonna be like a forever type of thing. The comeback was like short-lived, and then boom. So, but it was actually, you know, it had a lot of success, I'll say that.
I think FCW was great, and I seen where everybody, you know, was hyping it up. FCW was nothing but great to me, nothing but great product and amazing quality. and then it also had, you know, the good storyline, the good booking. You know, it didn't miss ever when it dropped.
Regardless, though, that small portion of an attempt to bring that back, I don't really look at that as like a canon FCW thing because there was no shows that really came out. But yeah, you know, like Mountaintop is really just like a beautiful way to just end the show. You know, everyone got their big moments, and I think we should just leave it like that.
I feel like FCW ended on a high note. I feel like FCW brought what it was supposed to deliver. FCW wanted to deliver something that hasn't been brought out in a long time, you know what I mean? FCW was doing things that other leagues weren't doing. The 2K19 era will forever be remembered as the golden era in my eyes.
I mean, I feel like it was cool. We had like different people come back. We had new people come back, and it was just fun. I was just happy to be a part of it. No matter what, I thank Sonic Man for the opportunity to always give me the chance to present myself as the bitch I am. Thank you for the first ever FCW Women's Championship. Thank you for being one of the only women to ever reach the top tier list in the power ranking. Thank you for giving me the FCW Hall of Fame title because I deserved it all. I worked my ass off for it. Thank you for giving me the chance to run the FCW Women's Division at one point. You know, they say goodbye hurts sometimes, but it's now time for your OG bitch, the bare knuckle brat, the irresistible juggernaut, the international A-lister, the real motherfucking show off. See ya, Cartel. It's time for me to sign out. Thank you for this moment.
Yo, low key, no dick sucking aside. This is like this second best league. You know, I'm a OC3 OG. You know, I'm a little biased, so I can't say you're better than my home league. You know, it's my family. You know, but low key, this league is pretty fire. Like, there's no dick sucking besides Huncho. You know, like in the FCW leagues, them Blade leagues. You know, there's a little bias in the Blades, the Kazarians, the AEW. Beast got his boys in BG, but you, Mr. Sonic Man, you're not very biased. You know, you give everybody an equal fair chance. I can tell you put the passion and love like for your shows like way better than anybody else out there. And I have to give it to you. Like, this is a very exciting league. So I say your shows are pretty fire.
FCW has so much more potential. It ain't had an end. Like, I know the reason, like, you know, the owner couldn't do it, but if FCW kept going, FCW would have been the top league in call. Like, after BG, because BG wasn't doing nothing. BG ain't do nothing the whole 24. So FCW was really the only league. Like, it had its potential to be up there. Now, I actually didn't know it hit 2K until I came for this documentary. I ain't gonna lie. I just found out. And that's crazy. That's shocking. That's good. That's a whole nother milestone. 1K is good, but 2, that's hard to do. Only 3 leagues ever done that. AEW, BG, and now FCW. I fuck with that, but I really wish FCW stayed longer. I ain't gonna lie. I wish it was still around right now because these leagues now unactive. AEW, it pushing more shows now. You feel me? It dropping more than one show, but still ain't active enough. Killzone, it pushing a little bit more too. You know, one maybe if you're lucky 2 shows a month, but still ain't nothing like FCW. Like, it kept the fans entertained. Nobody's keeping the fans entertained.
I feel like nowadays I'm just personally not in a position in terms of like scheduling with what I have going on in real life to bring FCW back, which is why I decided to put this documentary out in the first place, which is just to get that closure out for FCW, and to just thank everyone for being a part of this journey for so long. Everyone that supported it, whether if you're like you've been here from the beginning or if you're new.
I love FCW. I truly do. I love everything about it. It was truly like a second home to me. It was, I do believe, the most active league I've ever been in. I say it was second home because my home originally was a different company, but when I came here, I really felt included. I've been in other companies. I've been in AEW, been in BGE, OG3. I've been in most of those companies The thing that always impressed me with FCW and why I call it home is because how Sonic Man ran. You know, it wasn't just I'll make this decision, I'll do this, I'll do that. It was, what would you guys like to see? Like, Mania, what's your input on this? Or that guy, what's your input on this? Would you think this would work?
I have respect for everyone that's been a part of FCW. It was a nice, beautiful journey that like started off with like two people that just was just trying to best each other, and we just ended up creating this beautiful league in FCW, and to see it grow into such a big phenomenon from like the quality of the show itself to just the view market. It was just really nice to see. I'm really happy that FCW was able to run the course that it did. And yeah, once again, I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching this. This is Sonic Man, and signing out. Congratulations to you.
one time, G. Look, y'all already know I'm fucking zooted. You know. Let me tell you something, brother. Now I gotta get in the mood, like thinking, like, damn. Let me get into my inspirational thing. What does it mean to me to be in FCW? Well, I get to perform and do what I was born to do. Entertain the folks, entertain the crowd, entertain the masses, and get to the top. I'm the best in call. I've been the best in OT3, FCW. Hell, I've been the best in BGE, XCW. You can find me anywhere. I mean, I just need my roses because at the end of the day, everyone knows that Call is Butterslug and Butterslug is Call.
Tell me I was never good enough. Remind me of the demons.
Throw it back so everybody can be like, oh my god, what the hell is going on? Why would Shawn Rush do that? Whole time we on the tag team together, right? Boom, bam, wham. Whoop-de-doo. I did what the fuck I did, bro. Yeah. Have I, bro, listen, we all human. We all human, bro. So please, leave me alone!
Hitting me like a hurricane, hitting me like a tidal wave, and I don't know why I drown my mind in everything they say. Hitting me like a hurricane, hitting me like a tidal wave, and I don't know why I drown my mind. It got the best of me. And tell me I've been lost inside my mind. I reach out, but it's pulling me under. Remind me I've been searching for something I won't find. And tell me I was never the time. I reach out, but it's pulling me under. Or just blame it on the person you think I left behind. 'Cause lately I don't give a fuck, 'cause I can't be myself when I'm with anyone. And maybe I'm already gone, I'll never be the same. Hitting me like a hurricane, hitting me like a tidal wave, and I don't know why I drown my mind in everything they say. Hitting me like a hurricane, hitting me like a tidal wave, and I don't know why I drown my mind. It got the best of me.
You know, I was pretty sad that it closed down. Honestly, it was actually one of my favorite leagues of all time. Like I said earlier, it was very unbiased. I liked how there's no biases. You know, there's no families, no friends. It was just straight one owner booked the show. That was it. Great editing, good booking. So I was very devastated to learn that it was closing at the Mountaintop. But then, you know, I was happy to hear that from a secret informant that FCW will be returning in 2026, guys. Like, let's clap that up. That's right. FCW is coming back 2026 after this documentary is finished. So don't even worry about it. I'm not even sad no more. I know it's the truth, and I just can't wait for FCW 2026 to come back. Ain't that right, Sonic Man?
Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, you guys have a good one.